From a wild, one-of-a-kind road trip mixing animation and live action to the significant risk of the project falling flat on its face, Ryan Reynolds, Aubrey Plaza, and Jason Momoa just signed up for a strange new movie. And this ain't your usual strange. Animal Friends is a unique hybrid film. It promises some sick animation, perfectly complemented by live-action cinematography. So, the best of both worlds. Of course, its plot is strictly under wraps, except for a teeny tiny one-liner to tease the audience and hook us even more. Time to pack your bags for a road trip. According to Hollywood sources, this movie is a road trip adventure. But if you think both kids and adults can enjoy it, let me stop you right there. The title isn't as friendly as it sounds. It's marketed as an R-rated film. In fact, that's one of the only things we know about Animal Friends for sure. I've been hearing rumors that'll tickle your funny bones too. So to do a quick roundup, this movie is a unique, rowdy adventure packing live action, animation, and comedy with no limit whatsoever to stay all prim and posh. Whoa, the movie has got its plate full. Even more so when you take a look at its cast list. Some of Hollywood's most lovable weirdos are hopping on this unique project. Top of this list is Ryan Reynolds. Whenever you think of R-rated humor, he immediately pops up on the radar. Take any of his movies, Deadpool, Red Notice, The Addams Project. The guy has figured out the comedy game to a T. He's expected to be the ultimate wisecracker in Deadpool 3 too, so his inclusion in Animal Friends couldn't be more perfect. The same can be said about Aubrey Plaza. The queen of cringe comedy absolutely nails the deadpan style. And no doubt, it's going to come in handy for this upcoming flick. The Parks and Recreation intern is already having one of the best years of her career. She stole the show in the thrilling Emily the Criminal. This crime flick proved she has a range far beyond comedy. Now, the actress is heading to Marvel with Agatha, Coven of Chaos, and also joining the mega cast of Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis. Her career is officially thriving, folks, just like Jason Momoa's. After riding the waves in DC, the Hawaiian-born star never looked back, booking Dune, Fast X, and the live-action Minecraft, while also continuing with Arthur Curry's next adventure in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. We know from his performance in Aquaman that Jason has got amazing comedic timing. Vince Vaughn makes the last building block in the announced cast. He's been in comedy films for what seems like forever, like The Breakup, Wedding Crashers, or Couples Retreat, so the entire cast is spot on. That's not all. The movie crew is just as bustling, promising some stunning filmography. Get this, it has not one, not two, but 3 production houses. That's right, the upcoming flick is a joint project between multiple companies. It all began in the minds of screenwriters Kevin Burrows and Matt Miter. They came up with an original idea and met up with Patrick Guing, the Maximum Effort executive. Now, as some of you may know, Maximum Effort is Ryan's production company, so naturally, he became a part of it. But tell you what, he's done a similar hybrid project before. Stay tuned and I'll tell you about that later too. Anyway, next, Legendary Entertainment joined hands with Animal Friends. Then, the movie's animation live-action concept meant it needed an extra set of hands for the VFX. That's where DNEG came in. The visual effects company has already gathered raving reviews for its work in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, so you can rest easy that this upcoming movie is in safe hands too. Finally, to seal the deal, Emmy winner Peter Atencio stepped in to lead the charge as director. Now things from the production side seem to be almost finalized. That means the filming phase might begin soon and we can get more concrete details, such as the release date. Right now, there hasn't been any announcement regarding it, but the internet still loves to speculate, right? Most entertainment sources are theorizing that it'll take some time. We might be looking at a late release in 2024 or even later in 2025. Yep, you'll have to wait a while for it. Given the slow-paced updates we're getting, the team isn't actively working on it. Don't forget Ryan, Jason, and others have got their hands full at the moment too. So it's pretty plausible that Animal Friends is resting in the back seat right now. Also, the animated special effects for it will take a significant amount of time. Add that in the timeline too. It all pushes the release window further away. Speaking of animation, it's unclear how it'll fit in the movie, and this mysterious aspect is hooking the audience big time. They're super intrigued, musing about what it'll be like visually. Some think it could be like a comic book brought to life. Others have their fingers crossed for a never-before-seen approach, because undeniably, there is a big potential in that area. Still, some people might have trouble visualizing how live action and animation will merge. Allow me to make it simpler for you. Think of Animal Friends as something like Detective Pikachu. Yep, this is the Ryan Reynolds project I was talking about earlier. It's no secret, back in 2019, the movie became all the rage. After all, it was the first ever Pokemon live action. And hear this, the movie was under the banner of Legendary Entertainment 2. That makes 3 things this film shares with Animal Friends: Reynolds, the production house, and of course, the hybrid visual concept. Detective Pikachu showed how to catch 'em all, the CGI and live action. It combined them in a way that didn't look weird for the most part. Not to mention, the movie sprinkled a pinch of humor now and then too. So it's not like Animal Friends is an entirely new concept. But here's where it's different. It's not targeted at the younger folks. In contrast, Detective Pikachu catered to almost all age groups. Similarly, the 2019 film was rated PG with hints of suggestive content and mild violence. Since the characters were Nintendo property, it couldn't have more. But these limitations do not exist for this latest adventure. Judging by the movie's title, it might have animals as animated characters too. But by making it R-rated, the production has essentially given free rein to the cast. Go crazy, guys. They have a flexible, creative liberty to add their trademark touches, and from what we've seen so far, all of these actors can come up with some genius, hysterical content. But you know what? There's only one problem looming over their heads. This bizarre one-of-a-kind movie is an interesting choice, to say the least. I mean, all of them are insanely busy at the moment, a slew of blockbusters after blockbusters awaiting them. So, for starters, fitting this project into their timeline will require work. But more importantly, why did they sign on to it? Some people are stumped as to why this hybrid project is attracting so many A-listers. It's a massive risk that may tarnish their careers. But let me start with the positive points first. The animation live-action concept could be a massive hit, and it saves time. Right now, we don't know if the cast will be acting physically or just lending their voices. If it's voice acting, that clears up some much-needed time for other projects. Also, if the movie doesn't perform well, it might hurt less than a fully live-action movie. At least, that's what the loyal fans have been theorizing on Reddit. They're finding ways to ensure their favorite actors have made the right call by signing Animal Friends. But can't deny the downsides, guys. The movie has a major risk of failing miserably, and there are countless reasons why. First and foremost, mixing live action and animation. Just because it worked well with Detective Pikachu doesn't mean the same will happen with this project. You can't forget that a starved, massive Pokemon fandom welcomed the 2019 movie. This new one is an original idea with no fan base other than the stars. And speaking of them, it can easily prove to be a rotten egg in their otherwise glittering portfolio. Like, take Reynolds for example. After failing again and again with Green Lantern and that unspeakable appearance in X-Men Origins Wolverine, pun fully intended, he managed to revive his career and now boasts a winning streak. Animal Friends threatens his success rate. Something like this happened to Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland in Dolittle. Another point brought up by a Reddit user was the creative liberty and R-rated theme. Doesn't always end well, does it? Sometimes the humor can get too out of control, borderline crass and vulgar even. That ruins the story and viewing experience for the watchers. Finally, the biggest and most important concern, what if this project ends up as just another money grab? We know production houses tend to rely on A-listers to support an otherwise lame story. All of this can easily happen to Animal Friends. But here's to hoping it manages to strive past them all, becoming a box office hit. So, from the risk of being a major box office bomb to a unique mashup between live action and animation, that's all I had on Ryan Reynolds, Jason Momoa, and Aubrey Plaza's latest hyped project, Animal Friends.